What's going on? Alex here, and today we're answering some questions from Reddit. This question comes from SD Cato. Need to work more than my full-time job. Those of you working more than the full-time 40 hours a week, how do you motivate yourself to work more or keep hunting for better opportunities? I understand inner drive, but if I don't have that, how do you get off your ass and motivate yourself to work more? I work 40 hours a week at $14.94 an hour as a medical billing manager. I didn't get an annual cost of living raise this year. My employer does not offer any merit raises. I've been unsuccessful in landing a higher position. I don't have a degree or certifications. I'm almost 50 and physically healthy, but I'm always tired with no cause after a regular work week. I've been trying to find clerical night weekend positions that could supplement my income. I want more than paycheck to paycheck and want to be prepared for emergencies. I stay current on bills, but can't get ahead. You're gonna have to figure out where you can provide more value than $14.94 an hour, okay? Working 40 hours a week to then kill yourself and work 20 additional hours or 40 additional hours is only going to cause you to burn out. It's not going to bring you to a point where you've reached financial utopia. The essence here is to work smarter and not harder. You're going to have to sit down and really think long and hard about where your skill set can provide more value than 15 bucks an hour. We all have this, but it's difficult sometimes to ascertain it. I'll give you an example. When I was a up-and-coming CPA, I thought that the value that I could provide for clients was the highest in the investment management space. That's why in the beginning, I geared myself up to be that big fancy Wall Street guy with a nice suit, the fancy car. I thought, hey, these guys are the richest people out there that manage money. I definitely want to be managing money for my own career, right? These are all billionaires. They have hedge funds. Then I realized as I went along that a lot of the asset-based fees that were being charged by investment managers, whether they're 1%, 1.2%, are becoming more difficult to justify as time goes along. We've got automated ETFs. We've got automated funds. So many different opportunities to have investment done in an automated way that it's very hard to tell a client that they need to pay you 1% annually to manage their money. And after working for some time in investment management, I found out that the biggest benefit I could actually provide for clients was in the financial planning space, because I had the skills to sit down and work with the technical aspects of all of the assets that they had, figure out their actual goals, not the goals that they thought they had, but their actual goals, and form comprehensive financial plans based on that. So then I thought, wow, financial planning is where most of the value comes from, right? Because you're able to not only create a nice plan for a client, you're able to tell them, look, this plan cost you $3,000, but ultimately it saved you $50,000 over the next 3 years. Do you feel like that's worth it? And clients will say, absolutely. But even then, I was digging for where I could provide the most value. And I saw that really financial planning had a lot to do with taxes. And if you stripped the taxes out of financial planning, there's really not much left. Clients always ask the same two questions. Can I do this, and what's the effect from a tax perspective? So understanding the tax rules and how to apply them in a very detailed sense allowed me to go even further and provide even more value than just the financial planning, because now I can do the tax returns. I can get clients out of the financial bind that they find themselves in if they haven't filed returns for multiple years, or if they've had notices, or if there's all sorts of liens and levies and things like that. I had to push myself in that direction, because I could have still stayed in investment management trying to get the clients to manage their money. And it's an uphill battle compared to the tax side of things, to where I have a client base that's constantly coming in, because there's always clients that need help on the tax side. You're going to have to do the same thing. And it's not going to be easy. And it might take time. And you might have to use that time that you come home from your 40-hour week to work on your own skill set, to provide more value than $15 an hour. Otherwise, unless you can deliver on that, you're going to be stuck where you are. And I refuse to believe that there's no other way that you can provide more than that in terms of value. You're 50 years old, but you said you're healthy. So based on the way you've written your question, I can tell that you've got the intelligence happening. So there's no reason that I would think that you would be limited to 15 bucks an hour in this economy. And for me to believe that that's the highest that anybody's willing to pay you for work, I refuse. And in terms of not being able to find a higher paying job, here's the question I would ask you. Let's keep it real. How many applications did you send out? How many resumes did you send? Because if it's any less than 100 a day, you have not sent enough. And you're going to say, Alex, you're crazy. That's way too many. I don't know where to find that many places to send my resume. There's Craigslist. There's all these career websites. Make a new email address. Send 100 resumes. Have everybody on the block know who you are. There's companies in your area that you can hit up. You can call them and say, hey, here's what I offer. I'd love to help you. Let's set up a meeting. Or you just show up. One of the ways that I get clients is I will show up at a tax preparer's office, at a CPA's office, completely unannounced, and I'll have with me a dozen bagels. They don't know I'm coming. They have no idea who I am. I then say, hello, my name is Alex. I'm a CPA in your area, and I work with firms such as yours to help get tax returns out the door. By the way, you guys hungry? And I present them with a dozen bagels. And I have yet to find one firm who turns down a dozen bagels. Accounting firms, they cannot physically do this. It's not possible within just the realms of reality. They are incapable of doing that. So that's why it's so clever. And I will show up to a firm unannounced. I'll spend $20-something on some bagels and lox. And the return on investment that I've gotten for these bagels is in the thousands of %. Believe it, okay? Just because I had the balls to show up and unannounced, unbeknownst to anybody, pitch them my services so I could prepare tax returns for their clients. The worst they could tell me is no. So I see the downside to that being extremely limited. I see the upside potential to that being huge. And that's a bet I take every time. And I'm sure there's an opportunity in the same vein that's available to you. You just have to take advantage of it. And I want to see you making more money per hour, not working yourself into the ground. Because ultimately, you're going to exhaust yourself and you're not going to be able to maximize the work smarter, not harder ethos. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any other questions, drop me a line. Questions@efrosfinancial.com. Thanks for watching.